Shabbat Shalom. Can you believe that it's already December and that Hanukkah starts this week? It begins, the first candle will be lit on Thursday night. It's kind of hard to believe. This has been a very strange year, and I don't even remember the summer happening. How are we supposed to already be in the winter? But I wanted to invite you to join with us for our Hanukkah celebrations. There are a number of things we're doing. Please go to the BneiZionCongregation.org website and watch for details about things that we're doing. I also would like to invite you to participate in other ways. So, for example, on the Shabbat of Hanukkah, we have traditionally, everyone would bring their own Chanukiah, and everyone would get to light candles, and there would be lots of lights, and it's a glorious time. We're not going to be gathering in person this year, but I would like to invite you to join us by coming to Zoom 5:30 on every evening that there will be Hanukkah candle lighting this year. I plan to do something on Zoom at about 5:30 each night. Please go to the Bnei Zion website for details about what will happen, because some nights, even if it's on Zoom, it may be a different Zoom link, and you can get all of that on the website. But I'd also like to invite you to send me a picture of your Chanukiah, either one or many, whatever you have, either together or as individuals. Let me know who you are and if you're a member or not, because even if you're not a member, if you join us for services, you're part of our congregational family in some ways. So I want to use these during the service. So if you can get them to me, you find the links at BneiZionCongregation.org. You can find our email address there. And send it to me by next Wednesday evening so that we can incorporate them into the service. And I'd like to use that and show the variety of Chanukiot that our congregational family has. Anyway, it is time for Shabbat, and I am certainly looking forward to our day of rest. Add a little extra soul to your life by taking a deep breath. Letting it go. Try again. Letting it go slowly. I can feel it. Shabbat Shalom. These lights are only flickering flames, but flames illumine our uncertain steps. Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the great Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You hallow us with your mitzvot and command us to kindle the Sabbath lights. Rechiv Shemoy, Rechiv Shemoy, Rechiv Shemoy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You call us to holiness with the mitzvah of Shabbat, the sign of your love, a reminder of your creative work and of our liberation from Egyptian bondage, our day of days. On Shabbat especially, we hearken to your call to serve you as a holy people. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat. L'chaim.
Hi, I'm Anna. Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Good to see you. There are days when we seek material things and measure failure by what we do not own. On Shabbat, we wish not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature with reckless greed. On Shabbat, we stand and wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we think only of ourselves. On Shabbat, we open our hearts to the needs of others. Therefore, we welcome Shabbat, day of rest, day of joy, day of peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharit, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Boechem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malchei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh, Baruch Hu.
Good evening. I'm Sydney. I want to thank everybody for letting me participate in this service, of course, especially the rabbi. It's an honor and a privilege to do so. Hollis Ann and I would like to wish every one of you a happy, healthy New Year, which is coming up in 30 days, and also hope that you are well and your families are also. Thanks again. Here's my part of the service. The synagogue is the sanctuary of Israel, born of our longing for the living God. It has been to Israel throughout our wanderings a viable token of the presence of God in our people's midst. Its beauty is the beauty of holiness. Steadfast it has stood as a champion of justice, mercy, and peace. Its truth are true for all people. Its love is a love of all people. Its God is the God of all people, as it has been said. My house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. Let all the family of Israel, all who hunger for righteousness, all who seek the eternal, find God here, and here find life. Thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful Shabbos.
Varach le'alam ul'almei almaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudisha v'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'meru amen. Baruchu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam va'ed.
Hi, I am Tammy. It is wonderful to be honored during Simcha Shabbat. I wish all the best to everyone with birthdays and anniversaries this month. Oh God, how can we know you? Where can we find you? You are as close to us as breathing, yet you are farther than the farthermost star. You are as mysterious as the vast multitudes of night, yet as familiar to us as the light of the sun. To Moses you said, "You cannot see my face, but I will make all my goodness pass before you." Even so does your goodness pass before us, in the realm of nature and in the joys and sorrows of life. Shabbat Shalom.
Good evening. I am Kathy. It is wonderful to be honored during Simcha Shabbat for December. I wish all the best to everyone with birthdays or anniversaries this month. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives and we can begin to change the world. And then you live within our hearts, and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. Shabbat Shalom.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words, which I command you this day, upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. I, the Eternal One, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
We are Israel, witness to the covenant between God and God's children.
This is the covenant I make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you shall be my people. We are Israel. Our Torah forbids the worship of race or nation, possessions or power. You who worship gods that cannot save you, hear the words of the Eternal One. I am God, there is none else. We are Israel. Our prophets proclaimed an exalted vision for the world. Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed. You shall not oppress your neighbors nor rob them. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds. We are Israel, taught to beat swords into plowshares, commanded to pursue peace. Violence, which here says Hamas, shall no longer be heard in your land. Desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children will be taught of your God, and great shall be the peace of your children. We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your love and messengers of your truth. You are my witnesses, says the Eternal One, and my servant, whom I have chosen. Know me, therefore, and put your trust in me. We are Israel, O God, when we proclaim you, God our Redeemer, as did our ancestors on the shores of the Red Sea.
Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedav hakodesh, norati hi lo dosefele, norati hi lo dosefele. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
V'ne'emar, and it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shane. It is wonderful to be blessed this Simcha Shabbat. I have to say I'm doubly blessed because my birthday and my wedding anniversary are this month, and my wife is the most wonderful birthday present I've ever received. May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. O God, spread over us your shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, and bless us with rest. And let a time come when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish, a time of happiness, of contentment and rest. We give thanks for the night and its rest and the promise of peace for all the world. Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ve'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. God of all generations, of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, of Sarah, Rebekah, Leah, and Rachel, be praised. Your wondrous creative power fills heaven and earth. God of life and death, be praised. Through us, send help to the falling, healing to the sick, freedom to the captive, and confirm your faithfulness to those who sleep in the dust. Awesome and holy God, be praised. With acts of love and truth, we hallow your name. As it is said, Y'all be holy, for I, your eternal God, am holy. God of times and seasons, be praised. Enable us through Sabbath rest to explore and learn and impart the meanings of your Torah. Make our hearts ready to serve you this day and all days. God, who answers prayer, be praised. May we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land and Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God. Source of life and its wonders, be praised. You are the miracle within all we behold. You are goodness. You are compassion. We give thanks to you forever. Please join me. God of peace, of justice, and of love, be praised. Inspire us to banish forever hatred, war, and bloodshed. Help us to establish forever one human family united in peace. God of peace, bless us with peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Lo'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Lo'olam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lekol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lekol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Lo'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Lo'olam. V'tov b'necha levarich et amcha Yisrael b'kol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Lo'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Lo'olam. Tasim Lo'olam. Tasim Lo'olam.
Until this point in our service, the words that we have been reading have been inspiring, but have been written by other people. At this point in our service, we say the words in our hearts that we came to say to talk to God. We take a moment of silence and pray using the words on the screen or whatever is in your heart. Yihiu leratzon.
May the words of my mouth
Imre fi vehegyon libi.
and the meditations of my heart
Lefanecha.
be acceptable to you.
Lefanecha.
Be acceptable to you.
Adonai Tzuri.
God, my rock,
Tzuri v'gohali.
my rock and my redeemer.
Adonai Tzuri.
God, my rock,
v'gohali.
and redeemer.
Our hearts and our prayers now turn to all who are ill, recuperating, dealing with consequences of confinement, COVID-19, or coping with hurricanes, fires, or I would add, recent earthquakes and typhoons, or the recent death of loved ones. O God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. And we add, El na refa na lahem. God, please heal, please them. El na refa na lahem. God, please heal, please them. Mi sheberach avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. And let us say, Amen. It has become our tradition in our congregation to also say a prayer in support of those who are our first responders. That includes people in the military or veterans and police and firefighters, EMTs, healthcare workers. At this point, it's also those people who are in place so that we can be safe, things like restaurants and supermarkets. And so we say, Misheberach avotenu ve'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom, protecting us, healing us or serving us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they have been called to serve. Give them courage to succeed and strength to persevere. May they return home safely, and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Tonight I want to talk to you about elephants. I think of elephants as very noble, wonderful animals, living creatures. And they are, I think, in some ways symbolic of what it's like these days for us. So let me tell you some things about elephants. One thing is, did you know that the Hebrew word for elephant is peel? I like to imagine the first human. God just gave that first human a responsibility about naming all of the other creatures, and the first human comes across this giant, magnificent beast, or maybe two of them, and the beast greets the human by saying, Peel! And so the human says, oh, I know what I'll call you. I'll call you Peel. That's the way I remember it anyway. So I have 2 elephant riddles for you that have helped my family get through some difficult times. And I know that sounds weird, and it is going to sound weirder when you hear the riddles until I explain what I mean by this. So the first one is, how do you eat an elephant? No, and I'm not suggesting you eat an elephant. No, try again. Okay, so the answer that I was looking for is 1 bite at a time. Oh, somebody did get that. Sorry about that. So it's not supposed to be about eating elephants. It's supposed to be about showing that you can accomplish anything if you do it 1 step at a time. That's been very helpful to us. The other one that is similar is, how do you put an elephant in a refrigerator? No, don't chop it up. All right, I'll tell you. You open the door and you put the elephant in. Close the door. How do you put a giraffe in a refrigerator? No, you can't just open the door and put it in. You got to take the elephant out first. So those silly riddles have helped my family, as I said, through a lot of tough times. When things feel overwhelming, we're reminded that if you take things step by step, then you can get through this. So I'm going to share some more things about elephants, though, that are not just things about riddles. I recently found out that there was a stone tablet in Greece that said, Plato, did you know, the philosopher, did you know I have a master's degree in philosophy? That surprises me sometimes, but I do. Plato told me that everything I needed to know about life can be seen in elephants. So watch how they behave. Look into their eyes, and you'll see that they are tender, strong, silly, smart. A few weeks ago, I posted myself reading the book Old Noah's Elephants. It is one of my all-time favorite books, and possibly my favorite picture book. One of the reasons I love the book so much is how the artist illustrates the eyes. It has become how I look into elephants' eyes, is through the eyes of this book. Elephants throughout the world have lots of positive symbolic meanings. So they're considered to be symbols of good luck, of power, of success, of wisdom, of experience. Because elephants are social animals, they're also regarded as a symbol of loyalty, companionship, and unity. They're also strong and fiercely protective of what they have, especially their family. You may notice that that means that we share many traits in common with elephants, and there are others we, humans, share with elephants. For example, humans and elephants, have evolved the largest and most complex brains of any land mammals. We both live very long lives, and we cherish our relationships and our families. We both live in communities, or what might be called tribes. You've heard the expression, it takes a village. So usually it's referring to raising children. Well, both human and elephant children have what some consider long childhoods, which means that we don't let the baby be born and send him out of the nest quickly. that we live with our families. The children get to live with the families until they're older and until they have been taught enough life skills to go out into the world. At least typically that's what we do, and that's what elephants do. I'm thinking about elephants this week because elephants played a role in the Hanukkah story, and Hanukkah starts this week. It is not a role that we often tell our children, and many of us grew up not knowing about the roles of the elephants. In the story, the elephants were brought in by the Syrians as kind of tanks. Remember that the Greek Syrians were a professional military group, and they brought these elephants in, and the Jews had never seen anything like that, and they thought that these elephants were invincible. You shoot arrows at it, and the arrows just bounce off of it. They tromp through your village, and they demolish anything in sight. So they're similar to modern-day tanks, and were invincible. And the Jews lost all hope of being able to defeat this army. But there was one brave Maccabee brother who would watch the elephants when no one was looking, and the brother found a vulnerable spot under the elephant, and one night he snuck in and he killed an elephant, was killed in the process too, but because the Jews realized that the elephants were vulnerable, thanks to this one brave Maccabee brother, they felt that they could win the war. They felt that everything wasn't hopeless, and it turned the tide of the war, and we won, and we got to rededicate the temple, and the rest is history. The rest is our history. We are currently facing an enemy that feels invincible sometimes. Cases of COVID-19 continue to spread. The longer this is going on, the more people I know who've become sick with it, and the more people I know have died. However, there are brave people, our modern Maccabees perhaps, who are finding the vulnerabilities in the enemy. The more people who have it, who I know, the more people have recovered from it. There are also fewer people who are dying from it when they've gotten to advanced stages than there were in the beginning. I think that we will be able to be back in our temple, in our synagogue, in our sanctuary, and we will be able to rededicate ourselves to our lives, to have a Hanukkah, whenever it will be. We'll be able to celebrate there. We'll be able to celebrate with each other. I think it's coming sooner. I know we're getting sooner. I know that it's getting closer. I do not believe that we, our congregation, our nation, our world, is going to lose the war. So I think about the elephant. I don't think of it as an enemy. It is a huge, intimidating thing, but unlike a virus, it's a magnificent, living being that I feel I can relate to. I love that it's not an enemy or a weapon in my life. I don't have, personally, elephant statues for luck in my house, but I always love watching elephants. I love to see how they gently, calmly take care of each other. I have sat for hours in zoos watching them from a safe distance. While we are at a safe distance from each other these days, I hope you are finding things that you love to do. I hope you are taking things one step at a time, one day at a time. And I know that we can eventually, I wouldn't say eat the whole elephant, that was a joke. I would not say put the elephant in the fridge, that was a joke. I would say, we're going to make it. We've got this. We can do this. Hanukkah and the light that it brings to our world is only days away. Find the peace that you see in the caring elephant's eyes. It is very appealing. May that peace inspire you to find Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Mazel tov to everyone with birthdays or anniversaries this month. Following tonight's service, we can visit with each other and say Motzi together during the Zoom Onyx Shabbat. The access to the Zoom is on the B'nai Zion website. Tomorrow morning Torah study begins at 9:45 and Shabbat morning service begins around 11 a.m. Following the service, we take a moment to say Motzi and visit. Saturday morning events are on Zoom. Hanukkah starts next Thursday. Candle lighting will be Thursday, December 10th through Thursday, December 17th. Our Hanukkah events are all online this year, which means that you do not have to go out after dark, and you can invite your family and friends to join us whenever they are. Every night at 5:30, join Rabbi Jana on Zoom to light the candles together. The first night of Hanukkah, B'nai Zion will also have a special concert and celebration with Julie Silver at 7 p.m. on Zoom. The B'nai Zion website has details and a link to watch the concert. Julie Silver will light candles as part of her concert. Additionally, the Jewish Federation's annual Jewish Community Hanukkah Party will be online this year. Please mark your calendar for Sunday, December 13th, starting at 5:30 with candle lighting. Go to the Jewish Federation website to sign up. Look for special goodies and surprises. For example, how are they going to do Hanukkah food online? If you want to shop at the B'nai Zion gift shop, it is important that you call ahead. If you shop on Amazon, please consider using Amazon Smile so that B'nai Zion gets a donation with every purchase. There are a number of local and online stores with Hanukkah displays and a variety of items for sale. Let us know if you see anything especially helpful or especially clever or cute. Contact me or Rabbi Jana or the office if you are looking for something or if you found something specific for Hanukkah. Just a special thank you while we're at it. I want to thank Rabbi and Max and Ron for all their help in putting together the service each week. It is a terrific undertaking, and I really appreciate their efforts. Please remember that the deadline to submit donations for flowers is 2 p.m. Wednesday of the week you would like to have it read. Donations can be easily made online or by mailing or calling into the office. Donations were made to B'nai Zion Sisterhood Flower Fund in loving memory of Paul Shapiro by Jacqueline Fleshman, and in loving memory of Paul Silverblatt by Sam Silverblatt. Each week after the flowers are used for Shabbat services, the sisterhood delivers them to someone special. Stay safe and Shabbat Shalom.
At this time in our service, we will be honoring and celebrating everyone with birthdays or anniversaries in December. And we will all be gathering under the chuppah if you have a birthday or an anniversary. But this month, today, I am especially honored to be able to have under our chuppah our oldest congregant who's celebrating her 97th birthday today, Ruth, who has asked me to tell everyone that she hopes that everyone who is celebrating birthdays or anniversaries with her this month should have a happy and healthy birthday, and she wishes everyone a Shabbat Shalom. Happy birthday. Blessings to you. This Shabbat, we are grateful to share in the happiness of our friends with birthdays and anniversaries this month. We know that even when we cannot be together in person, our prayers and wishes for them are just as strong and sincere. Dear God, be with them always as the joy of their life. May they be blessed with health and happiness and with the strength to overcome sickness and sorrow. May we continue to help them celebrate for many more years, united by mutual reverence and love. Then will our lives be filled with abundance of blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. You spread out the heavens and established the earth. You are our God, there is none else. In truth, you alone are our sovereign God, as it is written. Know then this day and take it to heart. The Eternal One is God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else. Eternal God, we face the morrow with hope made stronger by the vision of your deliverance. A world where poverty and war are banished, where injustice and hate are gone. Teach us more and more to respond to the pain of others, to heed your call for justice, that we may bring nearer the day when all the world shall be one. On that day, the age-old dream shall come true. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We honor the memories of those who died this year in the military, police, firefighters, healthcare, and we add supermarkets and restaurants. We honor the memories of those who died in floods and fires, and those who died of COVID-19.
To lose one life is as if we have lost an entire world. May we not lose sight of the enormity of the loss of so many individual lives. We honor the memories of these people who died this year.
As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death.
In nature's ebb and flow, God's eternal law abides. When tears dim our vision, or grief clouds our understanding, we often lose sight of God's eternal plan. Yet we know that growth and decay, life and death, all reveal a divine purpose. God, who is our support in the struggles of life, is also our hope in death. We have set God before us and shall not despair. In God's hands are the souls of all the living and the spirits of all flesh. Under God's protection we abide, and by God's love are we comforted. O life of our life, soul of our soul, cause your light to shine into our hearts and fill our spirits with abiding trust in you.
However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us.
We remember those for whom we are still in the Shloshim period, who died in the past 30 days. We remember Leonard Selber and Joseph Paris. We remember congregants' parents who died within the past year. We remember Lewis Carroll Jr., Tommy Crowder, Sophie Lipo, and Robert Orlando Talbert. And as we remember those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. We remember those whose yortzites we observed this past week. William M. Blumberg, Eric Brock, Richard Bronner, Eva P. Cooperstein, Gladys Dreyfus, Melanie Meyer Goldstein, Max Kaliski, Irvin Kassoff, Frank Katzenstein, Donald Kern, Norman Cranston, Jane Leeds, Doris Stern Levinson, Paul Shapiro, Paul Silverblatt, Hermina Ox Silverman, and Sam Wolfe. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we praise your name. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehe shemei rabbah mevarach la'alam ul'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom v'moramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imiru, Amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen.
En Kelohenu, en Kadonenu, en Kemalkenu, en Kemoshienu, Michelohenu, Michadonenu, Michemalkenu, Michemoshienu. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
It is a blessing when we get to worship together, even when we are not in the same place. I believe that, and I'm glad that you're here. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you, be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be lifted up to you. May God grant you shalom. Shabbat shalom.